Hi everyone, I'm Ecdysis, and this is Corpse Party. Corpse Party is probably the only notable RPG Maker game. By the way, before people who like RPG Makers call me out, you know I'm right. Like, there's Mad Father, IB, and those other ones, but the one everyone and their mother knows is Corpse Party. That being said, we're doing all chapters, which is all 5 of these, and we'll be getting the best ending possible, I do believe. In terms of lore, I'm kind of on base, I'm kind of off, but what I do know about this game is the gameplay, which is pretty fun. Is that RPG Maker Spark moves? Anyway, we'll count down right about now. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, a big thing with the Corpse Party is there's a lot of story, obviously, and we want to skip almost all of that. By holding down the X button, I'm going to be skipping all the game's dialogue. It's a built-in feature because the game's kind of expecting you to play it multiple times. So when you're doing that, if you want to just skip the dialogue and try getting all the endings for achievements and such, you can just skip all the dialogue you've already done. It's already natively in the game, so it's going to be a faster means of actually going through it. And the main thing we focus on is the movement. Now, the movement's going to be very kind of like a callback to old school RPGs. That's what the whole RPG Maker is kind of like, and a lot of these games tend to be horror games, as you can see. This is indeed a new game. Right now, we're getting certain triggers, and we need to get keys. Obviously, the game's full of triggers, but what we're doing right now is there's a locked room I'm trying to get to, and we needed to make sure the key spawns. A lot of these items won't spawn unless I talk to a specific ghost, like that one right there. Enjoy the music, by the way. It's one of my favorite parts of the game. And now we're hitting the locked room. The locked room has a lot going on with it. We read this note, and then we have to talk to the door. And we have to read the note again. Then we have to go all the way to the bottom. That kind of starts the trigger there. We talk to the note one more time, and then we get our friend with us, and we are out of here. And that allows us to keep progressing. It's one of those things you have to do and make sure you get the best ending. There'll be a lot of little things that are going to be like that. I'm not always exactly sure why, but it is mandatory if you want to get the best ending. Anyway, right now we're going to be getting to the next area. We'll be getting a key, I believe. If so, sleep well, Ken. For right now, this is the PC version of the game, so a lot of people don't like the way it looks. I think it's because it's using different models. It is rather strange, so do keep that in mind, but it is the version running in. And these are the teleporting rooms. The way they work is that there is an item in the middle, and talking to that ghost allows me to solve the puzzle. I need to go right here, place the girl there, and then we can get the item by going to the other side. It's one of those things, if you go in the room, it will keep spawning on the other end. So by doing that, we get the item, and we're out of there. Also golden, so that's pretty neat. For right now that we have the key, we can now go back to the other area. We want to make sure that we're fully utilizing our tools here, and you notice there was a plank of wood earlier. That plank of wood will now be used to go access the bathrooms. Another thing as well is you luckily don't need to know the map all that well, because a lot of it will double dip with each other. So the more you play the game, the more, I guess, you'll know the map. I know that's a weird thing to mention, but it's not like you're learning new maps every level. A lot of this will kind of call back to other levels in this game. Anyway, now that we're in the bathrooms, we have to comfort our friend, so we're going to enter the bathroom, we're going to leave the room, and then we are going to re-enter the bathroom to retrieve our friend. There's going to be a lot of bathroom mechanics in this game, so just keep that in mind for right now. Chapter 3 is entirely devoted to bathrooms, and we'll enjoy that later. Anyway, our friend has gone to the bathroom, and now we may go leave the room. There we go. Do a little trip. And now we can go to probably the most fun part of Chapter 1, the infirmary. The infirmary is going to have like a mini boss fight-esque sort of thing. Keep in mind, a lot of the gameplay for this is going to be RPG Maker style, so good movement is going to be the big thing here. It's a pretty cozy game, in all honesty. I do like playing this because it is so cozy. But the order we want to do things here is try to unlock the door. That kind of starts the ghost event, and with that as well, I'm able to get the little hairs on the door. I think those are hairs. I could be wrong. Either way, the door is blocked, and we need to summon a ghost so I can get the rest of the items. In order to do everything, you need to make sure that you attempt the door, and then from that point onward, you can get the gasoline, or rubbing alcohol, and then you can just sort of head back and burn the door down. And that's the little boss fight. Now, an important thing about the run is you need to make the right decisions at certain points. We want her to leave, and then we want to go back to the bathrooms. We're going to be killing our friend off right now, because that will help us get one of the faster versions of the good ending. The best ending is really weird, because friends can die to get the best ending. I guess it's the true ending specifically. And we're going to talk to her a few times, and then she should be down, and that was pretty good. Now comes the best part of the run. We close the game, and we reopen it. So there's a long credit sequence after every chapter. However, the chapter flag actually happens the moment you get that screen, because that is the credits screen. So we're back here, and now we're in Chapter 2. Chapter 2 is going to start us off on a bit of a flashback with this teacher. The teacher is pretty much going to just save all of her students, so we're going to be good there. You can notice the room layout's a bit different. The big hole's in there anymore. I don't want you to go in that room. The room layouts will change the more you go into them with different characters, so keep that in mind. The teacher section is actually really quick. You just want to make sure you spare the students. It'll be one of the options. Most of the options will be the first one you pick, luckily, so that's pretty good. And now I get new characters. I really wish I knew the name of these characters. I usually just kind of refer to them as their looks. This guy is like wearing kind of like a tuxedo sort of thing. It's my problem for not knowing more of the lore. See, next time I do this, I have to watch the anime, then I'll fully understand. Anyway, our current mission is to get some levers pulled. By doing that, we're going to be going back and forth a few times. Exactly, we have generic anime boy and generic anime girl 3. There's a lot of anime aesthetic, so if that's your jam, you're in the right spot. Another thing with the RPG makers is they can get pretty violent at times. This game is one of the violence isn't as brutal as some of the other ones, so I think it's pretty nice in that regard. Anyway, this ghost mechanic is if you look at him, you'll die, so you just want to make sure that when you're crossing, you are not looking directly into their eyes. If you do, it's an immediate death. You have to be very careful on that. Now we're kind of getting introduced more to lethal ghosts. Before, we didn't really have anything too lethal happening to us. It was all pretty straightforward. Now, there was bad decisions we could make, but nothing that's lethal. We're going to hit our first major ghost encounter that can actually chase us. There are some moving ones, and you have to be careful with them. We're going to get back Ayumi here. And now, to skip this ghost, I'm going to enter that room and immediately leave it. That ghost will spawn further in the back, and it's much safer than trying to juke it. And now I can go back to the other lever room. You can try to just straight up juke it, and that is a method you can do, but I don't recommend it just because it's really easy to die there, and you lose the entire run if you die. You want to be very careful. It's easy not to die, but it's very easy to die, if that makes sense. Anyway, now that we got the key to this room, we can pull the lever, and now I can pull the other lever. This is all about just pulling different levers. So we pull a lever, so we pull another lever. Oh my god, I'm choking my words. And that works out pretty well in that regard. And while we're going back to head to the lever, we're going to be getting a few more ghost encounters. This is actually one of the more aggressive ghosts in this game, and they'll always be chasing after us. It's actually a pretty mean one right there, because a lot of the time when you're playing this, you might just be moving, not thinking. So you just keep moving right, it's an immediate kill, and it's very brutal. It's very cruel to get that one. So be careful when that's happening. Your baby? There you go. Anyway, pull the lever, and now I go to the other side. However, the ghost is now making it right here. What we're going to do is just juke it. And it is brutal in terms of punishment. Alright, we got the juke. You just wait a little bit, be patient, and get enough leniency to actually leave the ghost. That worked pretty well, and then we just keep running away. You cannot run the ghost normally, but it's very easy to run into it if you're not careful. Alright, now that we're down here, we'll be making our way back to those bathrooms. The bathroom is actually a really risky area as well. This game is really punishing if you don't know the routing. In this next area, if you make the wrong move, you can actually lose the entire run as well. I know there's going to be a lot of these, keep that in mind. But with this one, the girl's going to be having a bit of a panic attack in a way. That's how I see it anyway. And you need to make sure you comfort her and make the right decisions. If you just try leaving, you're a bad person and get punished as one. Another thing about this game as well is that the triggers to start the next events are very specific. There it is, she's scared, so we have to tell her to fight it off, and then we have to head back. It's actually a bit of RNG right there. It's not a major one, but she can block... Oh, there we go. She can block the path for you, which isn't good. Anyway, now we have conversations with the gym teacher and all them. We hug her, and then we're out, and that works. And we have done that part, which is good. Now, the game's kind of weird in that all these things are required just to activate the next areas. It's all very story relevant. How's it going, Shirai? We're doing some marathon commentary. Hope you're having a good day. We have now begun the mission for some dollies. There we go. We're going to be collecting doll parts. Also, that's a cursed ghost. We're going to ignore her. But the mission right now is make sure we live and to gather doll parts. So we're going to be doing that. There are 2 we need to grab, and they are always in the same spot, luckily. And it exists because New Game Plus is an option. I play it safe. I wait a little bit longer. Well, some ghosts are nice. Like I mentioned, all the doll parts are going to be in the same exact spots, so I know how to get there, I know where to route it. We're going up first, because this one is just on the way to the last one. Well, the last one's going to be more towards the beginning of the level. We'll be able to get a completed doll for later, which is nice. I still need to watch the anime based on this. I do want to. That is the thing I need to do. The next doll part will be in the place where we were earlier as a teacher. That's another example of you got to pay attention to these ghosts. That ghost right there is an immediate death. There's some later on as well, which are pretty brutal because it's going to require certain item grabs, which I'll talk about when we get those. And it's going to be playing as the same characters, and it's an immediate loss if you don't have the item. A neat factor that most RPG makers will have, by the way, is they understand that you may have been playing the game more than once, because a lot of them do have multiple endings, so they'll let you all have the dialogue skipping. The major thing I'm doing here is I am holding down X, that's the skip button, the entire time. I never let go of the X button while running this game, because everything can be skipped. Door animations, dialogue, every single part about the game can have skips. You'll see the little blue thing on the bottom left. That is me holding down the skip button and then affirming that skip, which is nice. Again, there's the ghost. You want to go up and then just juke it. Again, if you're not paying attention, that ghost will grab you, and it is pretty brutal. A lot of these walking sections work pretty well for donation reading. I feel like a lot of the RPG Maker games have their moments you can just do that. Anyway, right now we're hitting the apex of this. They just crash out the door, leave a doll behind, and now people are going to get axed. You know how it goes, just an axe to the back of the head. And we'll be hitting our next chapter skip. So we get the trigger for the chapter finish, and now we can go back to rebooting the game. So every time the game ends, I'm rebooting it. You can hear the music in the background. You don't get to see it until I pretty much got already into part of the game. But now we're on Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is one of my favorite ones, because it's the quest to pee. The entire goal here is... Oh my god, my headphones are falling off. The entire goal here is to find Yuka a bathroom. She is looking for one. I can actually do a little bit of a skip by starting that puzzle a bit earlier. Alright, here we go. But there's dialogue. There. There we go. Perfect. Okay. I heard it's solid. So all of that's our plank of wood that we now have, and Yuka will be our companion this time around. So the entire mission of Chapter 3 is we are trying to find a bathroom because Yuka needs to go pee. She really wants to pee, chat, so we need to find her a working toilet. That's the entire goal here. And she can only use toilets. She has to be very careful with the selective use of bathrooms here. Another thing we're going to have to do is, in order to open up the secret room for later, I'm going to have to make sure I read all the notes that are available. There'll be a few throughout the level, and by reading all of them, I'll be able to later on find out that there is a secret art building. There we go. Now the holes start getting repaired as well, so that's good. Not too bad. We golded, actually. That's pretty nice. And now we get to go to the bathrooms. I thought that was Yuka. Am I wrong? I could be wrong. Oh, yeah. Up we go. And now we're going to the bathrooms up top. You remember these from earlier, because we're trying to find the quest for bathrooms. Almost there. And like I mentioned in Chapter 1, the layout of these buildings will always be rather similar. Yeah, this is Yuka. I am right then. See, there's Yuka. And she's going to tell you, hey, these bathrooms are down. They're out for maintenance. The floor is gone. She cannot go to the bathroom. And we can't open up the other bathroom because it's locked with wooden boards. So what we're going to need is a nail puller. I've asked this before on my own stream. I asked this before a lot. Isn't a hammer just a nail puller? Also, we can ask Yuka to rest, but we don't want her to rest because we need her to progress. We need to do that so we get this note. The old section of newspaper is entirely required, and then by doing that, you get an item, which is the nail puller. We can now pull nails. And since we pull nails, we can now go to the other bathroom. Do you think this one's going to have working toilets? I think we might have a shot. She might be able to go to the bathroom now, chat. Let's see. Oh no, it's just urinals. Yuka can't use a urinal. That wouldn't work for her. She has to use a normal toilet. So we must continue our journey to find more toilets. I'm very itchy on my face. I don't know why. There we go. We get more dialogue, and now we're going to be getting a special key. In addition to that, I want to be looking out for the notes around, because I do need to summon, on the right, there's a special hidden wall. So I do need to keep that in mind. One of the notes is going to be down here. We're going to be going to this room a few times throughout the run, but this one, we have a note right there. It is a mandatory read. If you don't read it, you will not actually get the rooms you need. There we go. And like I mentioned earlier as well, a big thing is going to be just direct movements. They always lead you to the same loading area, so you enter right here, you'll enter exactly where you need to be. So you always want to make sure you're lining up exactly on the fastest entrances and exits, because it's nice. We're going to use that nail pull we got earlier to get a tiny key, and that's going to allow me to go into the new building. And you know what they can find in the new building, chats? I'll give you a wild hint. Yuka might be happy. Shibero might be happy. I think she would be. Because in the new building are more bathroom opportunities. Hopefully you can find a bathroom there. And you can see, now that I read all those notes, we have a... Demon King, you have to refresh the page. That happens every now and again on Twitch. We have a new building. Here we go. And in the new building, we're going to be checking all the bathrooms. We have one right here. And this one, the toilets are blocked off yet again. Yuka can't use those. You think if she just, like, hopped to the toilet, would she be able to use it? But I don't think she can. Her legs are not strong enough, unfortunately. I mean, she can try it, but I don't think it would work very well. That's a bathroom right there, but the floor is currently out for business, so I'll have to get that floor back in maintenance. The way we're going to be doing that is by going to the art room in the new building. Alright, my ear got fixed. My ear is in, like, a weird position. And we're going to be talking to the ghost in the top right here a couple times. We get the voice dialogue, and now we get a spawn right there. You can't get that spawn unless you talk to that ghost, and we need that spawn so we can get the floors to regenerate. Here we go. Also, don't get too attached to this character right here. She's not going to last very long. We have our cursed bathroom right there, and we are going to repair the floors. Floors are now repaired, and now we can try it out. We're going to take Yuka to this bathroom. However, we learned it is actually cursed. Well, chat, that's all the bathrooms in the school. Yuka's going to try finding another bathroom on her own. We're going to have to take her outside. She's going to have to go in the corner. But not really. She's just going to try finding another bathroom right now. So we're going to leave the new building. If you're wondering, we're not actually going to leave the new building, but Yuka's going to try. She did not get very far, because now there's actually a ghost. Now we're all alone as poor Yuka. She's trying. Look at those sad eyes. She's just trying to find a bathroom, chat. We need to find her bathroom for her. She's trying her best. She really needs to pee. And now, oh no, that little girl is dead. So we need to run away from this creep. This guy, if he catches us, he is going to not do nice things to us. I think he kills us, and we don't want to die, because dying is bad. So we must escape. And we are out, and we get a new friend who is going to protect us. This guy is Scruffy. His name is Kazami, and he is a scruffy lad. He will now take us to buy new shoes. While going on the mission for the bathroom, we also need to find new shoes. Having these shoes will allow us to get an item that decurses the bathroom, which will in turn let Yuka pee. But you can't pee in shoes, but they'll help you pee. Blue suede shoes. In order to get the shoes, though, I'm going to need to know where to find them. That is this piece of paper in the art room. We don't need to actually read it too much. We just need to look at it, and then we're good to go. And the answer's always the same. Luckily, most of the puzzles in this game are rather straightforward. There's none that are too, like, oh, you have to pick between these random numbers. No, it's all pretty nice in how it works. This puzzle right here is kind of neat. So that door locks. If you go up, it'll unlock, so you just go back down. I'm going to be taking this direct path to pick up this bookshelf, and the shoes will be right here. We have our magic shoes, and now we're going to be heading back the way we came. Because the whole goal right now is we want to go back to the cursed bathroom once we have the item we need to unlock the door. They're Jordans? Clearly. We got those fly Jordans, and now we can escape. You see, the Jordans are actually used so we can walk on these skulls. It's Skull Jordan. There we go. And now we can go to the bathroom. Yuka can finally go to the bathroom, chat. We just have to head back. She's dead, by the way. She never found her bathroom. However, the fire is now gone. She'll go inside. However, dialogue, and that bandit got stabbed. So you learn the guy we're playing as is the real villain all along, and the guy who was following us is trying to help us. It's still a game over if he catches you, so you have to do that. But that's just something you have to kind of consider. Keep that in mind. Now we are with a maniac who's stabbing people, which isn't very good. But that was Chapter 3, and we're going to be ready to close it once again and opening for the next one. That was pretty good. Remember, every chapter I want to make sure that we are closing that game and opening that game. Here we go. Chapter 4, starting now. Alright, now we are back. You might remember this character from earlier. We are going to the bathrooms once again. There's a lot happening with bathrooms in this game. Not always good things. She's dropping a cell phone. Now, that's somebody wondering about the story of this game. The general gist of it is that there are cursed kids, and there are bathrooms, and if you die, you end up getting forgotten into the sands of time. So, don't die. And right now, we need to stop Naomi from hanging herself. You also make sure to pick the right dialogue here. You do not want to find an object. You want to hoist her up, and you want to just get her down. That is actually one of the more important things in the game. If you do that exactly wrong, it's bad. Well, they're cursed by the charm. They're cursed because they did haunted rituals, and they cursed the school. Either way, ghosts are afoot, and people are going to die. That is the general gist of this. And now we are going to head back to the new building. We need to go there, chat. In this dimension, if you die for real. So, don't get too confused, but there's going to be a lot of character jumping in this next area. We couldn't save Sayori. We're back to Ayumi. And now we need to go to the infirmary to get the doll. And remember back in Chapter 2 we made a doll. We need to get that doll now. Because it's going to be used for later. This chapter is one of the creepiest ones, and I actually like it quite a lot. And getting that doll is going to be necessary. We're going to be gathering a few different items here. And it's all very important. Like I mentioned, this is one of those chapters that if you grab the wrong item, it's all over for you. You're done. You're garbage. It's over. This is the level about tongues. The last one was about bathrooms, this one's about tongues. You can always see a common theme here. What's the common theme? There isn't one. It's school, I suppose. You know, all things you can find in a normal school. Bathrooms, tongues, just the way it goes. So we're gonna talk to this ghost, and hey, we're back up with our friend. And now that we're here, we can discover the wild world of tongues. Go. I need to scratch my nose. My nose is really itchy right now. My nose always itches when you can't actually scratch it. It's really unfortunate. There we go. So, the hiding spots for these are actually always in the same area. I do like Mad Father Demon King. It's a fun game. The first one is... So casually, I think this is one of the worst levels in the game, because it's really hard to kind of notice this. I mean, if you're paying attention, it's not that bad, but it's very easy to miss both of these things. both of these are underneath floorboards. So we're going to have two unique items, both underneath floorboards, and you want to be careful with this. There's also a very precise order you need to do these things, because now that we have the bag of tongues, we can go to the first ghost. We're going to be going to a few ghosts here, and also I really need this, like, I don't know why, my head's really itchy today when I'm playing Corpse Party. There we go. Here we go. And now we go to the infirmary to begin the next part of the mission. There's going to be a ghost in this bed, and in order to calm down this ghost, you need to give it the tongue. Because tongues are a big theme here. You'll notice that we're playing as about 3 different groups. We're about to be meeting up with another group once I get the cell phone, but these groups will all converge into one later on. It's very important to know this, though. We have the teleporting rooms back, by the way, and they're still active. We'll be doing that puzzle again, and it's the same exact answer, so it's very nice if you remembered from earlier in the game what to do here. It's very much rewarding your calling back, and luckily it wasn't that long ago. This is probably, like, what, 20 minutes ago, roughly? So I think I remember the puzzle from about 20 minutes ago. I hope you do, too. If you don't, it's always kind of the same spot. It's a bit weird to notice it at first. Once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. Anyway, before we actually do that, I only have one person in my party right now. So with the cell phone grabbed, we can now get her in our party, and she'll join us, and we're all good to go. Naomi is now our friend, and we can go back. The story makes a lot more sense if you've either you play the game fully, watch the anime. I loosely ignore the story. I still need to watch the anime. Mainly because I'm illiterate, I hold down X the entire time. I really should know the story better, but right now, there's ghosts. And tongues. Anyway, we're going back to the spot. It's always about right here. I use that, like, weird third hole, or the first, like, left hole as the area. And we get the key to the random closet over here. I'm hearing mixed opinions about it, though, Aaron. The custodian's key, we get in here, the custodian's office, and we need to do 2 things. 1, we watch some good old-fashioned television. 2, we read the manga. See, you watch the television, you read the manga, it's all the same. That's how it works. And now we can begin the pool segment. The pool segment's actually really cool. I like it personally. It's a neat mechanic. We're going to learn how to swim. But one thing that's annoying about... 2 things, actually. 1, you need to go in this room once in order to figure out that there is the hole in the ground you need to grab an item. If you don't do this, you can never grab the item. The trigger just doesn't exist, and you can't find it, even on accident. You have to go in that room. And now that we've been in the room, we can grab the nail puller from earlier. And what we do with the nail puller... Actually, I don't think that's a nail puller. I think it's like a weird shoving thing that we work the switch on. Either way, it's an item that's required. It's the winder, that's it. We force that door open, and now we can go for a swim. How's it going, Cressidia? You guys ready to go for a swim? Our heroes are looking like they use a dip in the pool. The school pool. I like this chapter quite a lot. It has one of the neatest mechanics in the game. I mean, her nose starts bleeding because of diseases. I'm saying a wild guess. It's pretty much not diseases. Ghost is probably a better answer for a generic answer. But the whole thing is she's going to be acting kind of off, and we need to get an item out of this pool. In order to fully kind of do things here, though, we're going to be getting a bit of a panic event. This is actually one of the only types in the game of this, and I think it's really interesting because you don't get a lot of these. But we're going to learn that this was her item, and we have 2 minutes to save her. She is somewhere in that pool, and we need to get her out. But before you do that, you need to learn that she disappeared. So we're going to go back here and notice she's not here. The trigger's right about there. And now we go back to the pool. If you don't do this, you can never actually enter the pool and find her. You have to do that. It's mandatory. She's always going to be in the same spot, which is roughly about right there. 1 dive. Very nice. We saved her, and she is out. That's all overall pretty quick. And now she's back in the party and nice and safe. And now we can drain the evil pool. Now... I mean, I like to think this is a good example of the normal school pool. I remember when I was in high school, this pool is exactly the same. Definitely no different than your average high school pool, chat. Definitely no different in the slightest. You know, I think my high school pool also had several dead bodies just chilling in the water. About 4 of them. It is a game over, correct. So if you die there, it's an immediate game over and you cannot progress. This way we get the valve wheel and we can get the item we need, which is right there. It's very different. No, this is the standard high school pool. All the dead bodies in there. And now we get that item and we can leave. That's the whole reason we had to do that, and we got it. But I like the pool section. It's just kind of neat having that panic event. It's very nice. It's very cool. I enjoy it. And now we need to actually finish up the tongue area. Rookie mistake would be going to the ghost early. The ghost is up above, and if you go to that ghost, it's an immediate death. You have to be very careful when communicating with these ghosts. So first things first, we go here, we get a little event, and you automatically get the tongues in your inventory because of this guy right here. You know, he's holding the standard bag of tongues. Here, guys, take the bag of tongues. Just the way it works. Anyway, though, since we talked to our friend, he now gave us tongues, and we can now quell the ghost within. You have to give them 2 different items, which is also why I need both members of the party for this section. There we go. And now we're almost done with the level. I'm getting my cursor ready on the exit button of the game. Ghosts are now attacking. They are angry. And in order to leave this area, we're going to have to talk to her twice. She's not going to say anything the second time, like it's barely anything, but you have to talk to her anyway, it's required. And now we are almost done with the level. Go for it, Joe. The ghosts are asking us for help. That we need to stop things. We need to make things right. All the groups are converging, all the things are going bad, we're going to get the cool music, and then we'll be restarting the game once again. Tactical restarts where it's at. I don't know, maybe. It's probably only start one day. There we go, that was good. We're opening the game once again. We do not want to sit through those credits, they are very long. Alright, Chapter 5 actually has an intro that you have to do. All the other chapters you can skip the intro, Chapter 5 you can't. Anyway, we're back to Yuka. Remember her? Also, this is by far the creepiest part of this game, and I love it as a horror nerd. Like, I think it just really it hits all the right ways as a horror thing. I think it's pretty neat. Anyway, we're gonna discover the dead body is Yuka, and Yuka just peed herself. She never went to the bathroom in that cursed bathroom because it was cursed, and that kick knocked all the pee out of her body. Poor Yuka. There's the pee. Anyway, now it's time to juke this man. You want to be very careful when... Oh my god, again, that's bad. Oh, let me reboot the game. We're gonna have to do that again. He's a tough juke. Luckily, I can just reboot... I can just begin the chapter again. It's all good. That happens quite a lot. I don't know why. It's been happening a lot today. I am losing time because of that, but it's not the end of the world. This is marathon commentary. I thought I had enough range on him, but apparently not. Like I mentioned earlier, this guy's a creep, and he's very quick. You can juke him when running straight up, but turns are not going to be easy, as you can see. Obviously, an estimate time would account for that. Also, Yuka's going to get kicked yet again. And you can see how creepy he is. Getting him to spawn early isn't very easy, by the way. He has a very weird spawn timer because they want you to, like, get away. So I usually try to make some distance. Okay. Now we got it. That's better. You can still make it the last time. This can still PvP funny enough, so it's going to be all good. In order to run away from him, you actually have to go all the way around the new building. And he's going to creepily call out to us. This game doesn't have a lot of voice acting, but when it does, it hits just right. So we're going to book it, chat. We're going to be booking it, and Yuka is going to be terrified. He calls you Little Bunny Rabbit, which is actually really creepy. And I think it's a good moment for the game. Like, I like these kinds of things in horror games because they're delightfully creepy. And this is probably the creepiest the game gets, in all honesty. At least my opinion. There we go. The reason you want to go around, though, is because the other way will physically be blocked, and you can't really get out that way. We're almost there. I'll be getting the key to escape, and then we'll be good. I will be losing some time, though. Just remember that. It's okay. And now we are out of the school. The new building. And the way we want to get rid of him is by following the ghost, and we'll be getting rid of him the way we got rid of plain people earlier. We need Yuka to get the true ending, which is why I had to restart the entire chapter. Luckily, the game has some pretty save points. That's a good example as well, but having those save points. Again, this can still PvE, don't worry about it. We'll get some good time save here, I think. Now, all the groups are going to start converging on each other. And now we're officially in Chapter 5. We're going to have to make a decision. Can I still PvE? I think I can. I can. And we're going to get some really cool music now. So, we're going to have a few missions here. We're going to have to meet up with the groups a few times. We're going to have to get all the books. We're going to have to get some statues. We need a lot of items. But now that we have the two groups meeting up with each other, we'll be good to go. And we can begin the mission. How's it going, Silver Dax? Hope you're having a good day. We're going to be meeting up a few times. There'll be a lot of dialogue getting thrown at us. The groups will be converging as well. You'll learn more about them. We have Yuka back in normal states. So these two will be a group, and then the other two will be a group. That's an old documentary tape. We head out, and then we just keep going right. And we're beginning the mission. We're beginning the 5 pages. These red things will allow you to switch in between the parties. We need to get 5 pages of books. The books are required because this will get us the best ending in the game. It is absolutely required. You cannot get the ending. We also need to retrieve Yuka, because Yuka is hiding. We're going to need to get her. So, if you ended up saving Yuka, you can get her back. You'll get a lot of the items around here, and then we'll be back to go. Yuka is hiding right here. She's always in the same spot. Possibly. I just watched the anime on Discord. And now that we're back, we can officially begin. This group is going to be more about just getting levers pulled for the other group, but this will be the main group we play as later. So we're going to get the lever pulled, and then we're going to go stopping to the other group. We're also going to need this later on, the wrong way. That's all good. We get some really cool music. And we're going to be looking for 5 books. The ghost will help you find these books, and you'll get a hint every chapter. You start with the one book, and then you're like, oh, do you remember where these are? They're always in the same spots. You just need to kind of know the general area. And we should be able to find this. There we go. Oh. Alright. It's going to be just the same route. So we have 1, 2. And it's a sequential order as well. You cannot read one until you have the other ones. So, while that one just spawned, and it would technically have been closer to the last one, it wouldn't have came in until I read the last one right there. So it's always going to be the specific order, and you want to make sure you get all of them. If you don't get them, you can't beat the game again. Or at least you can't get the best ending, which is what we're trying to do in the speedrun. All chapters requires it. This is actually a fun one because the tech is to wait for the blood to go on the window, and then you go in the room and you're good to go. This has a mild panic event as well. When we leave the room, that ghost is going to come to life. But this is probably one of the easiest dodges in the entire game. That ghost always just ends up right there for some reason and will never actually hurt us. I don't quite know why, but we're good to go. Anyway, we have 1 more page left, and then we're going to have the actual encounter with the ghost. That will give us the statue we need. The whole reason why we need all these is to actually get a black cat plushie, because this gives you a statue. We're trying to get specific items because it all works out this way. The music is also going to like re-begin every single time here. There we go. Do, 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 do. Alright, and we get the ghost encounter. Hold on the button for a little bit, and with this one, Naho, we're going to be getting the statue we need. It's a special statue, and luckily the items we're going to be getting will kind of carry over from party member to party member. So now I can go over here. And then go back to this party. Oh, wrong way. Like I mentioned, we have statues now. We get both the statues and the perfectly usable per party. So I have one on one party, I'll get it on the other party. And this is how you get the special item. This entire room, by the way, the answer is just enter it and leave it, and then you get the book you need to read and the ghost. And then you get everything that's needed. You get a lot of dialogue. We're skipping all of it. But the whole reason we want to do that is for this item. Now we can head back, and we need to meet up once again with the party. You saw there's an upper route. This is where we're going to be using it for this time. We're going to do a few things in this upper route. There'll be a little bridge you're crossing. That's going to break later in the game, but right now it's working. And we're going to be going through a hidden path. And this puzzle is actually a surprisingly tough one. We need to watch more TV. Then we go inside, and you just send anyone first. Doesn't really matter. Essentially. You gotta meet back up. We'll get the meetup, and that's good. And now I begin the journey. We get the cooler music, and we're gonna continue going. We're gonna have to pull a lever first. That lever will allow them to escape and get to where they need to go. Enjoy the jam. And we're going to finish up on their end. Once these two finish up on their side, we can just play as the other characters. Oh, that happens every now and again. Honestly, my favorite song in the entire game is playing right now, so I love it. Just give me a moment to jam out to it. Every little bridge. And now these two are going to escape. As well, I mentioned earlier that you wanted to make sure that you had the teacher spare. There's the teacher. And now you're all good. All your decisions earlier did matter. You have to make sure you made the right ones. Especially right now. Absolutely, Fox. Alright, now we're back to this party. And we need to head over to the new building because that's where the end game is going to be. As well, we're going to have a little bit of a panic event. It's the only other one in the game, really. The entire answer, it's an invisible wall puzzle, which is kind of weird. But it just takes a bit getting used to. The answer is always the same, luckily. You just have to kind of feel your way around there. And it was really quick. And now we can head back to the new building. Yes, you want to make sure you spare the students earlier. Alright, we get the special key we need, and now we can go over to the top floor. That guy's dead body is also just chilling. The pee is gone, though, so you don't have to worry about any cleanup on Yuka's part. She doesn't have to look at her shame of getting kicked and having to pee. But we're going to go all the way up these stairs. We haven't really seen what's at the top of these stairs yet, but we're finally going to notice that. Thank you for the sub, by the way, Luke. It's much appreciated. I'll get the alert after the run. We need to open the door. And we're going to be going to the janitor's special room. We're getting more tongues. And we're going to have to play some escaping here. We're in the final dungeon now. The final dungeon has a few puzzles that we're going to have to interact with. The puzzles aren't too crazy. Thank you, Nightmare, as well. I'll make sure to play the alert once we finish up. The answer is right, right, left, right, right. And it's always the same. Remember that, by the way, because you're going to have to know it on the way back. The next puzzle is going to be some levers. And it's more you just have to pull the levers in order. They'll create a bridge, and you want to make sure that you're always getting the correct bridges. The correct bridge might not be the one you think, because it'll pull different bridges, so you have to pull every single one. It's pretty easy once you know the route. It's rather straightforward, but you can get mixed up if you're not careful. There we go. After this, we'll have one more major puzzle, and then choices matter, and then an escape. We're actually getting really close to the end of this run. Overall, if I didn't die, this would have been PB, and that's kind of unfortunate. But sometimes these things happen. Like I mentioned earlier as well, a lot of the time-saving corpse party in games like this is going to be your movements. You taking the most direct line possible is going to be very important. There we go. And you want to make sure that you're good on that. This puzzle is very fun because you have to follow a wisp for a specific path, and it's always the same. It's going to be just like this. If you take one wrong step, you fall through a hole, and you're not allowed back until you go to the underground. On the way back, though, we'll kind of notice that. Oh yeah, that's correct, Shiro. The principal just, like, set up this underground labyrinth for some odd reason. And here's the janitor's kill room. You know, full of buckets of blood. You open that locker, and then you start the panic event. It's kind of a weird panic event, because you just hide underneath, and then you kick her out. And now we follow the blood. We're almost done with the game. All we have to do is go to the finale. Don't you worry, though. Everyone will be fine. We have this group back. They've returned once again. And all the group is met up now. We have everybody in the group. Well, almost everyone. She's watching TV and vibing. And now we have to do the ritual. So, the ritual is very specific. One wrong choice here and you lose the entire game. You'll have to restart from a save point. The choices, we'll take it a bit slower than normal, are going to be yes, no, yes, no. And then chant 6 times. So, yes, no, and then chant 6 times. One for each person. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't chant. And now, the curse is lifted. But, you better get out. You gotta run. 1 for each member, Aaron. There we go. Keep in mind, Sachiko is also a part of the ritual. I actually mess them down a lot, because you have the 5, but you also need the ghosts. That's correct. Also, like I mentioned, these are hidden floors, so we're gonna fall down and get a little fast forward here. It's slightly faster just to take it this route, because you immediately can just go to the exit. The bell will toll, and if it tolls too many times, everyone will die. So make sure you're taking the right route here. Going back, it's the exact reversal. So hopefully you remember all the puzzles, everyone. It's gonna be right, right, left, right, right. And then you go down. And you want to get to the new building. Once you get to the new building, the game is done. And as always, we're going to be splitting on getting the final credits, like every other chapter. Alright, just keep moving right and we're good. Alright, we're out and time is about to end. Time is almost done. And, Psycho is now gone. She has been forgotten forever. And that's the game. Not that bad. For a marathon commentary, not that bad. I feel like if I knew more about the story, I'd feel better on it, but overall, the route's pretty straightforward. I should watch the anime at some point. People keep telling me to play, just play the game again, but either way. I want to see the anime anyway. I've been meaning to. That being said, hopefully you'll enjoy the marathon commentary. This has been Corpse Party. It's a pretty neat RPG Maker game. It's very easy to learn. RPG Makers are entirely routing and good movement. It's a great starter speedrun if you really want to get into something, and it's very cozy. You have that cozy movement RPG, cool music. There's a lot going on with it that's rather nice. And Yuka finally found her bathroom. So that being said, hope you enjoyed it, and I guess any comments, feel free to let me know. Thank you. And if there are any more marathon commentary videos that you're curious about, feel free to either let me know to some degree, in comments, Discord, whatever it is. It all works out. That being said, thank you for watching the Marathon Commentary VOD. We'll probably get more of these.